Thank you. Thank you, Senator Smith. Anin Boujou, my name is Kathy Chavers, and I'm the chairwoman of the Bois Forte Band of Chippewa. I'm also the current president of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe, which includes the 6 Chippewa bands, White Earth, Mille, Fond du Lac, Leech Lake, Grand Portage, and Bois Forte. And I'm very honored and humbled to be testifying to you today on the infrastructure bill. I just want to briefly give you a little information about Bois Forte. We are a small rural tribe located in northeastern Minnesota, 50 miles from the Canadian border. We only have approximately 3,500 tribal enrolled members, and we have 3 sectors of our reservation which are located many miles apart. I have been on the tribal chair and council for since 2016, but I've worked for the tribe for over 30 years in healthcare and education also. And I've witnessed how the band and other tribes have struggled with the inadequate funding throughout all our programs in the many years I've worked. I guess I would like to talk about the flexibility and the ability to have the, how can I say that? Ability to have the, the guidelines that are going to be set forth by the infrastructure bill to allow tribes to use it in a manner that meets our needs and not what the government feels our needs are. The reason being is right now we have a sewer system at what is one of our communities, Indian Point, that we want to pipe underneath the lake to put our sewer system into the City of Orr sewer system. I don't know if any of those categories would fit that, but that's a unique need that Bois Forte has. The tribes are unique with the needs that we have for infrastructure, and due to the inadequacies of funding throughout the years, basically we don't have the infrastructure in place that we need to have. We have individual septic systems that need upgrade. We have a community where 20 to 30 of our drain fields are failing, but we don't have funding to fix them. And so when you're talking about smaller tribes in rural Minnesota, I really applaud the accomplishments of these tribes that have talked before me. We don't have those opportunities. We have critical needs at Bois Forte because we don't have the data for applying for grants. We don't have the staff. The amount of money the monumental amount of money that we receive from ARPA and COVID and the pandemic and now the infrastructure bill is really placing a hardship on our staff with reporting requirements, all the backlog of data that we need that we can't get. We just have to, the financial part of it is really stressing out our accounting department. They're overwhelmed. And we have 300 plus grants within our small tribe that we have to manage along with our small accounting staff to do the ARPA, the COVID, and now the infrastructure bill. Administrative costs would be very helpful for smaller tribes to get the staffing that we need to help with that big backlog of work that's involved with these monies. The other thing is that when we apply for all these grants, please don't make them competitive. We shouldn't have to compete against our neighbors and whatever, because with smaller tribes, we don't have the staff. People wear many hats at small tribes. We need GIS services, for example, at Bois Forte. We can't get the data to fill in for some grants or applications that we want to apply for because we don't have it. It's very expensive. We're very remote. We're not near a city. We're 65 miles from a city. And so water and sewer, we also have ponds that need to be expanded. In order to get more housing, which is such a lack of housing in northeastern Minnesota, we need more infrastructure, more water and sewer put in, but our ponds also need to be expanded. And IHS has their SDS list, but their funding is inadequate to meet that need. They help us so much with so little money, but they need a lot more to even get us to where we can actually manage our own programs and help our people out. It takes many years to get the need on the SDS list through IHS to even get us to where we need to be today. Climate resiliency, because Bois Forte is so small, we don't even have a program that deals with climate resiliency. We don't have the staff. We don't have we need an updated water quality lab. We have the best wild rice in the world. And our dam is in the process of failing. If we lose our dam, we lose our lake, it'll drain our lake, we'll lose our rice, and there'll never be net like wild rice again. Our fish ladders are not working. We declared a state of emergency on our dam. The waters have flooded up north in northeastern Minnesota. Last year was a drought. So it's Mother Nature plays her many courses with us, but we need a lot. Small tribes need a lot, rural tribes need a lot. Our roads are inadequate. We need equipment. Sometimes we can't purchase equipment. We need a grader for our reservation roads so our tribal members can go hunting and gathering in the woods for their traditional medicines and berries. And we just need adequate funding and resources to deal with climate change and resiliency. How is it impacting our wild rice? How do we do that? Workforce is another industry that is really affecting the tribes. We can't recruit any staff in rural Minnesota. We can't compete with the outside world. We can't. We just cannot get the adequate people that we need to run our programs. We need change. So what I'd like to say in my testimony today is that some of the items that I just listed are some inadequacies we have at Bois Forte. And I've tried to list some of the important ones like GIS, our dam and whatever, but we really need the flexibility, and we also need a formula that will work for all tribes. Bois Forte just acquired 28,000 additional lands in the past 2 weeks from the Potlatch-Deltic Corporation. We're a timber industry up north. We have lots of trees and mosquitoes, huge mosquitoes. But the thing is that if land base is going to be used, I'm not sure what the formula is for this distribution or how it's going to be distributed. Tribes need input on that because right now that land is not within the BIA registry. It was just 2 weeks ago. But that was the largest land acquisition in Indian country, in this country and in the state of Minnesota. But I just want to say that we very much appreciate all the recent funding opportunities that we as tribes have been able to get. It's been almost like Christmas for us every day. We've never had that much money to deal with as tribes. We've always been dealing with inadequacies and making our dollars stretch. It's been very unusual, but as Chairman Dupuy has always said, we have been the most regulated people when it comes to programs and services. And we make the best of whatever funding or situations that arise. So I hope that through our testimony today, that you will listen to the tribes with their accomplishments and us tribes that don't have the resources, people, or funding to do the things that we want to do. So again, Team Miigwech, thank you very much for Bois Forte's voice to be heard in this testimony today. Thank you.
Miigwech Chair Chavers, thank you very much. And we'll now turn to Chair Dupuy from Fond du Lac. Bonjour.